Yo, peace and blessings to everybody out there. Welcome back to the Mic Council. Every Sunday at 8 p.m., the Mic Council appears to bring you not only quality hip-hop commentary, but the best of the best of the best when it comes to this podcast game. I am your host, Karev. Next to me is my mans.
I go by the name of Seek, representing the Hello Effect Podcast. Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Mic Council. Hello. And
Hello.
y'all see we missing one person. I'm gonna let Karev, you know what I mean, talk about that.
Shout out to our man, DJ Kawon of the Mixtape show. He is off handling business for the show, for his family, and for life. So may the Most High guide your steps out there and where you're at. And y'all see great things are coming when my homeboy come back. So before we get to what we got to get to, you see that? Hit the like button, comment, and share the video. We are on the road to 4K. Which means, 5K, which means we want 5,000 subscribers on Heritage Hip Hop, the Hello Effect Podcast, and Kawon J Media on YouTube. All of us got to get 5,000. And when we all get 5,000, everybody who subscribed, we're going to have something special for you.
That's a fact.
That you're going to get from us. So unlike everybody else who just say, thank you for helping me reach it, pay for something, we're going to give you something for joining us on this journey. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yo, tell me about your journey this past week. It's been a couple of days since we've seen each other online. What has your journey been like?
My journey I just been busy, man. I'm just trying to stay busy, you know what I mean? Trying to continue to build, you know what I mean, this community, the Hello Effect, because it's more than a podcast. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It's a network. I'm trying to connect like-minded people also with talent, you know what I mean? And with people that's outside doing things for themselves and for the community and trying to change the world with whatever they got to offer. You know what I mean? So I just been behind the scenes doing a lot of the things that people don't see, like the editing, like the reaching out, and also just trying to maintain regular life with all this stuff that's going on in the world that you can't really hide or escape from, because we live in social media. So we got to see the wars, we got to see the crimes, you know what I mean? And all that stuff weighs on your mental. So it's about just focusing, you know what I mean, and trying to navigate through life with all this stuff happening. What about you?
To be honest, my journey has been based off of not only trying to get myself right, it's about growing the platform and getting my personal life going on. Unfortunately, like I said a couple shows ago, I had a death in the family. Rest in peace, Craig Chavers. You know, I'm still dealing with the death of one of my best friends. Rest in peace, Shaw Skills. And you know, I'm starting to see life changes. The older you get, the more life changes. The more you mature in this life, especially when you see people on your level or the people you grew up watching falling off, it kind of sobers you to think that we next in line to take this thing over, and one day our time's going to be called. And how do we leave the world? You know, how do we leave it? Did we leave it better for the next generation, or did we fuck it up? And that's been on my mind. You know what I'm saying? That it's been like that with me. To be honest,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
What I've been like. Yeah. And you know, that kind of goes into one of our subjects tonight. Before we go into that subject, everybody, Instagram, Facebook, they're not here. It's just YouTube. Make sure you share with everybody to come to the YouTube page to join us for the Mic Council. And not only that, make sure you hit the like button. And when you comment, YouTube is now changed the algorithm. Comments make, besides hit the like button, the comments make the show get spreaded more throughout the YouTube ecosystem. So please comment, be a part of the show, talk with us about some things that you feel. And I think the thing that scares me about the Mic Council is when people get used to it, people just fall off with it. And we want to tell y'all, we appreciate y'all time. Thank you. Stay with us.
That's a fact.
Because greatness is coming. You just seen us talking. You ain't see us bring our guest on yet. Because we have some podcasters who've asked me personally, can they come on this show? How does that make you feel, bro?
No, that's what's up. That mean we doing what we need to be doing. That mean we outside engaging and touching the people. You know what I mean? Because I feel like anybody that's interested and want to be a part of something that you're doing, I mean, you're doing something good. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So long as they, I mean, got the knowledge, you know what I mean, long as they on the same type of time we on, I think it would be great. You know what I mean? We can reach their audience and they can reach our audience. You know what I mean? We could build together. So that's what's up.
Yeah, we got some women who have
Mm.
podcasts who are interested in
Okay.
joining us. We have some people who are in the sports industry that reached out to me about being on the show. We have people who are in congressmen type of government trying to reach out to us to come on the show.
That's what's
So
up.
so the Mic Council is moving, ladies and gentlemen. We don't just get on here and talk to you. We actually promote our show. We are moving on our show, and as we grow, we're going to put into the show so more things can happen to keep it beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Anything you want to add in?
All right. Now, yeah, like you said, I'm just going to piggyback off what you said. We got a lot of people that, you know what I mean, I want to get involved. You know what I mean? A lot of great people that I met from artists, people in the industry, DJs to political figures that's really outside doing stuff for the community. You know what I mean? I want to connect with real life people. I want to build the Mic Council based off of like people that we really rock with in a sense. You know what I mean? I don't just want to have guests up here just because, oh yeah, they got a little wave or something, you know what I mean, going on. Now I want people that really is gonna add value and gonna add substance to what we doing. So that's what's up.
All right. So before we start the show, today's topic are the OGs saving hip hop and LaRussell's Heaven Sent Controversy Explained. Now, in the comments, we got the real Freaka. Shout out to my boy Freaka. He says, "Are the
What's good,
OGs
Freaka?
saving hip hop?" He said he's waiting to hear this one. And Preach the Drums Rugged, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you share this because this is gonna
That's a
be a
fact.
hot one. This is gonna
That's a
be a hot
fact.
one. So, as you've seen, since it got popularized with the legend has it with Nas and Mass Appeal that some of the OG rappers are coming back outside, especially from the New York area, right? And with that movement, it was such a successful marketing tool that now a lot of the OGs are actively starting to release music where a while ago they said it's a new generation, we're not going to do it anymore, right? And even before, we've had Redman drop the album, Exhibit dropped the album, Eric Sermon was doing the Dynamic Duos album. We had people coming out outside again, ready to drop hip hop albums and let people know that they're still out here making sounds. Yet, hip hop has had such a cultural divide through ageism that people are criticizing the older rappers for coming back. And some of the younger generation are saying, no, we want them to come back. So, in your opinion, do you think the OGs are elevating hip hop by coming back outside? What do you think?
I think, in my personal opinion, I think they add in balance. You know what I mean? Because you made a great point. You said they have fell back a little bit to let the young folks do it, and we see the results of that. You know what I mean? It turned to like a crash out fucking a thon in a sense. You know what I mean? They just making shoot 'em up, bang 'em bang music. Don't get me wrong, the OGs made that, but they had different. Everybody wasn't making that. The young generation, 90% of them is making that drill, bang them up because it's easy. You know what I mean? It's easy to destroy your people. But that's another conversation for another time. Um, the OGs, they already know we come from that cloth where you got to be really talking that talk to really be respected. You know what I mean? So a lot of them people is coming back, and there's a lot of artists that really want to get in that bag now, like the younger artists. Like they want to get into that. I could spit some metaphors. I could spit some thought provoking things or whatever. So you see the fall off from drill music, ratchet music, and you see the rebirth of this. I gotta have this stuff, this substance. Excuse me. I gotta have this story so people could relate to it. And another point I want to make: a lot of OGs is coming back too because they broke. That's another thing too. You know what I mean? They broke, so they see that age conversation. That shit is deaded. You know what I mean? Because y'all had the rock, young bulls. y'all really couldn't do nothing with it. You know what I mean? I had the opportunity because it was a lot of OGs that just fell back. And that's why they started doing like their podcasts and they other things or whatever. So we bring up the topic, are OGs saving hip hop? Um, I want to say 50% yes and 50% no. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because me personally, I felt like hip hop never died. Like, you know what I mean, always gonna be um a culture that has to evolve. Like, you understand what I'm saying? That's why hip hop has different parts of it. Like, you know what I mean? Every different genre of music got a part of hip hop in it. You know what I mean? That's the part of hip hop branching off and doing its own little thing. So, like I said, my answer is 50-50. You know what I mean? For now, I'm gonna pass it on to you. I mean, see what your thoughts is about
I'm gonna take you to school later tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go deep.
it.
Nah, fuck. I like this topic because music is only a part of hip hop. Music is this much when it comes to hip hop, but because it's was been used to make money and it's entertainment, people love it so much that they define hip hop through music. Let's go to Gaia the Sage. Shout out to Gaia the Sage. Said, man, I wish OGs were saving hip hop. KRS does some good work, but nobody artistically or intellectually collaborates these days. If KRS One collaborated with some actual philosophers, things might change. Actually, he has collaborated with some philosophers. You're talking to one right now. I'm a graduate of the Temple of Hip Hop, and this is our movement. So
Let them know.
let's build on something. Seek, is hip hop a culture?
Yes.
Define culture.
Culture is basically, I mean, I want to say community. You know what I mean? And it involves like, I mean, different races and stuff like that.
Okay. According to the University of Google,
Mhm.
culture is a shared set of beliefs, learned behaviors, values, customs, and artifacts that characterize a group or society passed down through generations. Generations, y'all. It is acts as a collective programming of the mind, defining norms, language, and lifestyles, distinguishing one human group from another. So if hip hop is a culture, hip hop has to be distinguishable by its language, its
Mhm.
rituals, its symbols. That's the symbolic form of hip hop. Now, when you think about that, don't we have our own slang and it changes every 3 years?
That's a fact. Yep.
But you know how impactful the culture is by the eras in which a person is introduced into the culture by how they speak. Because if you don't understand what I'm talking about, look at how Rakim rapped, then look at how Jay-Z rapped or Nas rapped. Then look at how Kendrick Lamar raps. Then look at how I don't know some of these new guys rap because they rap with a whole new vernacular. Let me see how you strut on them with your butt. Then when just like like it's a whole different vernacular. So
Mhm.
language is a part of it. Now hip hop does have rituals. Whether you a stoner, a b-boy that dances, or you're somebody who draws. So hip
That's
hop
a
has
fact.
stages. Hip hop has symbols. This means something. Borrowed,
Peace.
borrowed from the civil rights era, Black Power. This means something. This means something. This means something. This means something. So we have all these symbols that talk about culture. You see what I'm saying? Now, behavioral. Hip hop has to be a culture. Hip hop has to have traditions, social practices, and lifestyles. The social tradition of hip hop has been the party. It has been the get together. It has been the cipher, whether it's in church, on the corner, and on podcast. A collective of people coming together to have this decisive conversation about society, music, and their interpretation of what they see. Social practices, once again, the podcast, which is spoken word, the rhyme, the poetry, the beats. No matter where you're from, what region, it's always beats. And your lifestyle. So hip hop culture has grown so much that it's gone beyond poverty living. Is now the defining attribute of society's articulation of talent.
Mhm.
When we look at hip hop in that form, Are the OGs saving that? Yes. Because if it wasn't for the OGs reminding us of where this stuff came from, why would we want a hip hop museum? Why
That's a
would it be
fact.
important to have a hip hop hall of fame? And then when it comes to music, that goes into other things. Let's go to the comments before I get a little deeper. Before
I was
that,
about
what
to
do you
say,
think?
I was looking at the comments. I wanted to comment on some of the comments. I'm hearing you, but I'm like, they're in the comments. You know what I mean?
All right, well, Gaia that said the Temple of Hip Hop needs to branch out and collaborate more. Are they doing any interfaith work? Nope. Well, I'll answer this question for you. What is interfaith work? Because I know what I do, and I represent the temple when I work. You have to define that for me. Let's talk to Freaka. Freaka said, question, if our generation is hip hop, how can our generation save it when the youth don't like it, can't relate, or refuse to carry the legacy on? That's my point. I'm going to get there because that's actually not true. So I'm
Yeah, I
going
was
to get
say.
there.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
society makes it like it's true, but it's some people now that I'm really outside and connecting with different people. It's people that really want to move the culture, like younger people, like forward.
Mhm. Yes, it is.
Huh?
Yes, it is. He also said, no one wants to hear old flows except some of our generation. Let's be real about it. Yes and no.
No, yeah, I about to say that.
Well, you talk about it. What was you about to say?
It's yes and no because it's like once again, it's a bunch of young people that's going and taking the old flows and trying to bring them back. Like you understand what I'm saying? You got to understand a lot of stuff that we try to bring back is timeless. Like you understand what I'm saying? You want to, as an artist, you want to create timeless music so your shit could live on forever. Like you understand what I'm saying? I just want to bring up Soldier Boy. I don't see nobody in my age doing a Superman when they 70, 80 years old, like respectfully, you know what I mean? So that's one of those here and gone type of situations. But that was my point on that.
I want to focus on what he said. If our generation is hip hop, how can our generation save it when the youth don't like or can't relate or refuse to carry the legacy on? I like to say I've met some young men who say I was born in the wrong generation or the wrong era because I like y'all music more than my music. And I've met people, I've met kids that's under 17 years old who tell me their favorite group is Tribe Called Quest.
Hmm.
That's big because yes, people like Lil Uzi Vert, who's not hip hop, by the way. He said it himself, he's a rock star. That's not hip hop. You have people who listen to who's my man who made that song Fiend? Fiend, Fiend, Fiend. Is that Travis Scott? I forgot who it was.
I don't
But
even know that song, to be
yeah,
honest
but
with
you
you.
you have people who listen to that type of stuff and they be like, yeah, that's cool. And I listen to that when I want to turn up, but there's other things I want to listen to when I want to think. And that's what made Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake supposedly the big three because they gave you three different avenues of the culture. You
That's a
had
fact.
the one who was mainstream, who followed the LL Cool J path. You had the Nas one, which is supposedly, I guess, J. Cole. And you had the one that walked that line. And I don't know, I guess that was to be Jay, I guess. I don't know how people look at it. Don't ask me. But what I will tell you is because hip hop has been co-opted by the culture has been co-opted by the corporations. What we call hip hop culture is not mainstream when it comes to money. The music only is. But you have these young children who like anime, and then they get introduced to graffiti, and they want to know about bubble letters again. You have these people who are learning about how come my style of fashion comes back every 20, 30 years? Why is baggy pants back? You see what I'm saying? And then when you show them pictures of the 90s and how we dressed, they're like, dang, y'all was doing that. You know what the realest thing is? There's a Kendrick Lamar song, Fresh Out of School because I was a high school grad. Gotta get a job because I was a high school dad. I played that around my family. But I didn't play that. I played Ice Cube, Bird in the Hand, straight out of school because I was a high school grad. Gotta get a job because I was a high school dad. Same words, different flow. And they was like,
Mhm.
damn, that's where that came from? I thought Kendrick made that up. And they're like, nah, he said it from back then.
Yeah, he
And
showed a lot of love
yeah,
to other artists.
and just like when we heard music, our parents would say, nah, nah, nah. I got that. They was listening to that when I was younger. You need to check this out. We're starting to get more and more young people in the culture, not divided like you got the hood part of the culture, you got the artsy, the nerdy part, blurs and all that. We only think the culture is only on our specific one thing, but it's so universal that there's people everywhere that's looking to find hip hop. There now because there's more kids who don't come from the inner city that rhyme. I now see De La Soul becoming even more popular again with this new album than they were for years, and now De La Soul has a brand new life. We got, like I said, I got little young people telling me about Tribe Called Quest. Like, I don't know who Tribe Called Quest is. You know, I got people telling me about Common, just found out Common was a rapper. They didn't even know he rapped.
That's a fact.
So are the OGs saving it on that level? I would have to say, yeah. And let's continue. Anything you want to say on that, or you just want me to continue?
I just want to piggyback off, you know what I mean? Shout out to Kendrick Lamar, you know what I mean? Because one thing I found about that song, The Heart, that's on his latest album,
Mm-hmm.
you know that song came from SWV. That's their song. I never knew that shit. I'm like, yo, it's the same type of beat, and they saying a hook or whatever, but he just changed this shit up. That's and it sound the cadence and the hook sound alike, but the song is totally different. And I like how he flipped it, he sampled it, but he didn't steal it in a sense. He made it his own, but still paid homage. So that's all I had to say. I just wanted to.
Yo, perfect observation. Because if people say they don't want to hear the old flows, yeah, that's only the rap. But if you listen to some of the most prominent producers, they're starting to sample 90s R&B. So now they're starting to hear like what he's saying. Let's go back to Freaky. He said, I'm in the South. They do not listen to hip hop like up top. That's fine. That's where hip hop is going now, is that hip hop culture is evolving back to how it used to be with regions. So I wouldn't expect someone from the South to focus on 90s hip hop when now the South has its own history to listen to their own shit. Now
That's
somebody
true.
can really be like, Outkast is old school. To me, that's not old school, but they can say
Word.
Outkast is old school. And
They say T.I.
pick up
old
from
school
there.
too.
Yeah, they could pick up from that and move
Jeezy.
forward. How many people up here talk about JT Money, but in the South they probably talk about Poison Clan and JT Money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's their history. So up top doesn't matter anymore. Now it's all about how do you keep your section popping and memorable so people know the culture, which goes back to what I'm saying, culture. Now check this out. Here's another derivative of culture, material. Material is artifacts. Rest in peace, 10-1. Shout out to Ella Sensei. Artifacts, technology, and art. Let's go backwards. Art is graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
Graffiti turned into cartooning and anime. And anime culture leads hip hop right now. Right? You have technology. Are we not talking about AI, turntables, Suno? What's the joint? Serato, AR. What was it? The Casio, the M whatever people used to get into. That's the technology, and the art, and some of the artifacts that we have in hip hop are the dookie ropes, the shades, baggy pants, blowouts. People are bringing in Brazil
shit, Rolexes.
Yeah, yo,
Jacob the jeweler.
Yeah, talk about in Brazil, the number one hairdo in the inner city is the afro. Come on, yo. Come on. That's our culture, and hip hop adopted a lot of that. Yo, I'm gonna tell you a funny story real quick. I play music in my school before the kids come in. When I play special ed, the kids are doing this. When I play Oh Poor Righteous Teacher Shaquilla, the kids are doing that. When I play Soul to Soul and all that, which is not hip hop, but I'm saying as long as we introduce it to the generations, they'll learn. They'll ask about it. Let's go to Guy of the Sage. I would love to get back into some underground American rap, but the algorithm has ruined music discovery. I've pretty much been listening to underground UK grime these past 10 years. Well, and she said that's the problem. Well, I'll tell you what. You want to hear good music? Come to Heritage Hip Hop and see who we promote. Go to the
That's a fact.
Podcast, see who he interviews.
That's
Go
a
to
fact.
the Mixtape Show with DJ Kawon and see who he interviews. And you'll get some brand new underground American hip hop. And shout out to him. We got Freaka in here, the real Freaka, and he has incredible songs out. We got Drums Rugged that's in the chat. He got his album that came out. We have good music. All you gotta do is tap into
That's a fact.
Subscribe to all three channels and you'll see it. Let's go to Drums Rugged. He said, I'm from Dallas, Texas, and we always listen to every region of hip hop. Yes, we love our Southern music, but we also have love for East and West and Midwest hip hop too. Yes, but think about it, bro. You're in one part of the South. Every state. Let me tell y'all something. The United States of America was once a country. Let me preface this the way I needed to be. Every state is a country. They just united itself into a state of the union. So New Jersey was a country. New York was a country at one time because each state has its own laws like different countries do. So if you make that into hip hop relevancy, New Jersey has its own identity apart from New York, which is apart from Connecticut, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. I guarantee you, not everybody in New Jersey mess with New York, not everybody mess in New York mess with Jersey, not everybody in Philly mess with New York or Jersey. Connecticut probably don't mess with Delaware. So everybody has their own distinction of what they identify as. And that's beautiful that hip hop is there right now because now we're starting to find out the different stories of how this culture became what it is and how it evolved into different territories so we can appreciate each other's sound, music, articulation, vernacular, style of dress, um, even what's considered sexy. And I don't mean just men and women type stuff, but the things that
Mm-hmm.
allure you to it. Anything you want to say about that?
Nah, I definitely agree. Like, and when it comes to fashion, like a lot of people became millionaires off of fashion and hip hop and jewelry, and not necessarily the people that's from our culture. You know what I mean? So people got to put that perspective. Hip hop makes a lot of people, you know what I mean, money outside of being in the culture.
Facts. Now, this is the most important part to our OGs saving hip hop, the ideological part of culture, which is values, beliefs, and world views. Now, check this out. I need your help on this one. Let's break it down. What are the values of hip hop?
The values it could be valuable, you know what I mean, for you. You know what I mean? It could change your life. It could make money. You know what I mean? It could, matter of fact, give you generational wealth if you got your business in order.
Okay. Here's some values of hip hop: peace, love, unity, and righteously having fun. That's what hip hop started from. So it started from people wanting to get out of the streets to let their voices be heard, to now people still want to not be characterized as N words, B words, or whatever, and
Hmm.
be it fairly and equally when it comes to business, meaning that we want our equal share of the pie.
That's a fact.
So the value when it comes to hip hop is identity. Now let's go to the next one. Beliefs. One belief that people have had in hip hop, besides peace, love, unity, having fun, which is a value, is that if you have a talent, use it to the best of your ability and change the world with it. Whether you're rapping, designing, speaking, drawing, show the world your talent because you never know who you can inspire and change the world through your art. Am I wrong?
No, that's correct.
Okay, and here's the last one: world view. Hip hop has gone global. I interviewed Omen 444. Omen 44 is one of the first Japanese rappers,
Oh, word.
straight from Japan. He was on the Heritage Hip Hop podcast years ago. And Omen 444, me and him talked about that park in Japan where hip hop started, in the park in Japan. And he's on record as being the first 5% Japanese rapper.
Mm.
And he says the black man is God. He's the original man. He talks about that. And he said in respect to the black man, he says he's the original first Asian hip hop man.
Damn, we got to bring him back on the show. Like,
You should. Omen is dope.
no
Um,
word.
think about that, y'all. The worldview. Hip hop is so powerful that you had the prime minister or one of the prime ministers in Israel say that the American black youth are the most dangerous people in the world because they influence how the children and how the world react when it comes to their expression. Think about that.
I ain't gonna lie, I could kind of agree with that. You know what I mean? Now that I look into it, you know what I mean? They do have a lot of power. You know what I mean? That's why I be kind of disappointed because they don't use it in the way you supposed to use it. Like, you understand what I'm saying? They use it for the negative part. You know what I mean? Instead of the positive. And I feel like if they be more positive with it, they'll go further. You know what I mean? And they last longer. They'll live out their entire life stood of getting the fuck up out of here quick. I'm tired of hearing the good die young, because that's a fucking lie. I mean, it's a
Facts.
misconception.
Yeah, facts. But look, Kendrick Lamar is carrying that flag. J.
That's
Cole
a
has
fact.
been carrying that flag.
Fuck him.
If okay, that's fine. But look at he said FBA Asian. Shout out to Pop. Pop is back in the building. But look at how even people may not like him, especially with what's come out with the government helping them. But look at D1's message about being accountable for the rhymes that you put out. So it is there. And when it comes to the worldview, let's go back to the OG saving hip hop. Raekwon of Wu-Tang Clan came out with Legend Has It, and he named his album The Emperor's New Clothes. And he said he fashioned that because people are calling things hip hop that's not hip hop. And he's saying, stop that. You really naked. You don't really do hip hop. You're doing some bullshit. And that's the OGs coming back to putting it in perspective, not to shit on the younger folks, but if you tell them what y'all doing ain't hip hop, and we want to reintroduce it to y'all. When Nas said hip hop is dead, everybody up and on. No, I'm hip hop. I'm dead. I killed it. Nah, fuck that. People had to mature his message. No, he had to mature his message, and now we're seeing the OGs take a more positive and proactive point where they're going on podcasts to talk to people instead of just putting out and just saying whatever and dropping an album. You know what I'm saying? You have the older rappers coming back, and is it saving hip hop? My question is going to be not is saving it, but it is putting it back in perspective to a point where now you have something to share, talk about, and give the younger folks for them to consider. Now, whether they listen to you is on them, but the same could be said to us, because when they tell us their stories, we have to listen and consider what they're saying. What do you think about that?
No, that's a great point. Like, I was just thinking about that. They're not saving it, but like I said, they bringing more substance. You know what I mean? Imagine going to a place to buy food and you got more options. You know what I mean? Instead of having just the hamburgers and chicken, you might have salad. You might have curry chicken. Like, you know what I mean? You might have you got to mix and stuff like that. And I appreciate that. And I always felt like it should have been like that. Like, but we let society kind of trick us and like, yo, nah, after you reach a certain age, you shouldn't be rapping. Ha ha ha. Yo, it's people that's a certain age that's still working that shouldn't be working in a sense. You know what I mean? Because I feel like once you reach a certain age, you should be retired, you know what I mean, and put away, you know what I mean, and living your life really. You know what I mean? But when it comes to hip hop, like everybody know, you evolve. Just like you evolve with age. You ain't gonna be the same career 10 years from now. If you is, what you been doing for them 10
You
years?
fucked up, yeah.
Exactly. So I love it that they coming back. You know what I mean? Because, and another thing is, if I was a fan of Nas when I was younger, I should want to grow with that artist. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Why I'm not a fan no more? I don't listen to hip hop no more. No, I should be able to have somebody that's in my age that I could relate to. Like, far as the message. The problem is a lot of these. I don't even want to say a lot of these. Some of these. Let me use that word. Some of these older artists don't know how to evolve. They still stuck in that same mindset because they be like, yo, this is going to sell. Because talk to the youngins. If you're not trying to be an OG to the youngins, they not going to relate. If you trying to be who they is, they ain't going to respect you. So that's my thing on it.
So let's go to the comments. Drums Rugged said, I have always said that this generation don't even call their music hip hop. They call it trap and drill music. Okay. And
that's a fact.
Yeah, they go on candy house photo facts. And that's something that we have to consider. That's why the conversation has to be had. Freaka says it's showing the youth how it's supposed to be done. It's us loving us again. Facts.
Yeah, word.
But let's pose this question though. Hip hop is 3 years old this year. Right? 53. Is that old?
No, no.
I'm gonna give you
you in your prime. I feel like when you reach that, like, you know what I mean, half of a hundo, you in your prime, yo.
So I'm gonna get philosophical with you real quick. There was a man who was talking to his son. His son is 10 years old, and this man told his son how much he loved him. And I told this to my grandson. This is wild, yo. The man, the young boy asked his father if he loved him. He said, "Yeah, I love you, of course." He said, "What's the best part about being a parent?" He said, "Watching you grow up." He said, "What's the hardest part about being a parent?" And the man stood there and thought to himself, and with a tear in his eye, he looked at his son and said, "Watching you grow up." That's what we're doing with hip hop. See, hip hop was always called a young man's game. And now when the younger men became elder statesmen, they wanted to push them out the game because they knew about contracts. They knew about
Word,
all
that's
the
a
stuff
fact.
that publishing
That's a fact.
everything. So they
Yup,
try to keep it young so you don't know. And
that's a
by being
fact.
pushed out, the elder statesman had the tear in the eye because now they're like, damn, I've seen where it happened, what's going on. What can I do? And now, as they're watching hip hop go astray, they're trying to bring it back because watching it grow up is hard, but you got to cultivate the mind, cultivate the body, cultivate the spirit of it so it can mature and keep going. And that's where we're at right now with the OGs. Because I'm gonna ask you another question. All these OGs coming back to rhyme, have you heard any of their projects, and do you like any of their projects?
I ain't really like I heard like some projects, but let me say something before I go into that. I just want
Okay,
to bounce on what you just said.
okay.
The problem with like you know what I mean, you said like the OGs like had a tear in their eye, you know what I mean, because they seeing the hip hop evolve and grow, and they see all the janky business and shit like that. Understand that part, but my question is, why none of them got ownership of it? Like, you understand what I'm saying? So you was in a culture, you watched all this shit grow, but you couldn't gain ownership of it. Now that you got pretty much kicked out the game, you really can't really do anything because a lot of them younger artists ain't gonna listen to you because they be like, yo, OG, why the hell you ain't do nothing? You know what I mean? Now it's gonna listen to you now. You know what I mean? And that goes back into another conversation we have another day with the podcast people. It's like, yo, why I'm gonna respect this person that came before me? Look what he doing now. He on this podcast talking about some BS. Um, that was that point. But let me get back into the albums. I heard some of the Mob Deep album. You know what I mean? And I would get my point of view. People might not like it. You know what I mean? Because I heard everybody hyping it up. And the thing with hip hop is a lot of people. Not even gonna say a lot of people because I don't like that word. Some people just be caught up in the hype. You know what I mean? They might be a fan of that art. Oh, yeah, yeah, that person is great. Me, I don't know if I'm a fan of you. I'm gonna give my honest review and my honest listen. You know what I mean? Me, I thought the Mob D album was good. Like, far as like RP the Prodigy wasn't here. But I feel like if Prodigy was here, it would have been great. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of that stuff was like old verses they added on to new beats to make money. That's my personal opinion. I'm not saying the album was whack, but me, when I'm thinking about a project, I don't want that artificial shit. You know what I mean? Where it's like the person passed away, we got songs, you know what I mean? Put them out. Because what if he was here? He probably wouldn't want that song out. Like, you know what I mean? He probably would like trash it or something like that. But far as like the OGs putting the album out, yes, because I know they're gonna deliver a great body of work, no matter if it's a 1, 5, 7 or 10 for 10. You know what I mean? And I will listen to it. I will give it a listen because I already know I'm gonna probably find something that I can enjoy based off of me listening to a younger artist. You know what I mean? What about you?
I listen to a lot of music. Shout out to my man Tree. He always get on me like you need to listen to this, listen to this. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. And he be like, wow, it's new music. And the thing is, I get sent new music all the time. So but sometimes I do need to cleanse my soul and have new artists and sometimes older artists. Before I
That's a fact.
answer, I want to say shout out salute to Kawon. DJ Kawon is in the building. Peace. What up, folk?
K1 was good.
And I want to talk about this comment by Palaya. Palaya says perspective. That's it, 100%. Personally, I love where the music is at and is going right now from the more established artists. The underground has always been fire and still is.
That's a fact. That's a
That's
fact.
salute.
Underground always been fire. That's a fact.
Now check this out. I've listened to a lot of older artists. I listened to the Red album. I listened to the Exhibit album. I listened to The Whole Legend Has It. I listened to the Eric Sermon album, The Dynamic Duos. And I listened to Kid from Kid and Play. He just dropped a new song called The Tin
I
Man.
seen it. I seen it. I ain't listen to it though.
Now, And I also listened to the RZA. The RZA came out with the Juice Crew. He put a Juice Crew project out. Now, when I listen to these projects, I'm not listening to find top 10 hits. I'm not. Because right now, where hip hop is, the elder artists are making music relevant for their generation. And their generation aren't the people who buy the music. Their generation is for people who kick back and listen to music. Like, how many older people you know went to a lounge, heard a dope song, and said, I'm going to go buy that? It doesn't happen like that. They just like to enjoy music. So what I see is, because hip hop is maturing, I think, to go back to my regular question of how old is hip hop and is hip hop old? Hip hop is evolving in real time in front of our eyes. You never had a rapper come out and talk about being a grandfather. You never had rappers come out and talk about being landlords, like the Slick Rick album. You never had people talk about losing their teeth before in hip hop and trying to still attract girls. Now we have that, and it's like now the people who's in my generation or above, I didn't lose my teeth yet, see, but we got people in my generation above. They're like, I can relate to that, and it's good to hear somebody else going through what I'm going through. Because one thing I can tell y'all, my father always said, getting old is not for sissies. And he said, when you get older, when you get older, you realize you're dying because people like you, your friends, and your generation are dying. You have no one you can relate to, and it gets very lonely. Now let's go to the culture, because of civilization. In the civilization, you have pockets of society that meets the needs of certain age groups. The OGs are saving this part of hip hop, is that it's not aging people out who cannot relate to the culture anymore. It's showing them they are still important parts of the culture. And if you have something to say, you can relate to it. And if you want to say it just like everybody else can, you can as well. Now that corporations have sucked the music dry, because no music is selling, it ain't just hip hop. Nothing's really selling. So Afonte said, what the hell is selling out if ain't nobody selling? Nobody's moving any units, really. So that part of it, for the young people to say, well, what you doing? You doing this, you doing that. The payouts are different. The slavery has evolved, not just the money. And now that we have people able to tell their stories, where back in the day, the label stopped you. Back in the day, you couldn't do certain features because the labels didn't want to pay for it. Now you're able to tell your story with somebody you respect in a way where you're giving voice to people who were once part of the culture and who felt aged out because people didn't want to give them an opportunity to say their piece. What do you think about that?
I just feel like the older people, they bring it back, like selling things, like, you know what I mean, like merchandise, like, because I was looking at something where it's like they said vinyls did like 1 billion in sales or whatever, and that comes from like the OGs, because you said if an OG go in a club and hear a song, they're not gonna buy it. You know what I mean? It's based on, they ain't gonna buy it because everything is streaming, and some people in that age, they ain't really on that technology type of shit. You know what I mean? And nobody is buying. Where can you go buy a CD really for? You can't go to Sammy Goods or FYE. You know what I mean? And go get a new. I don't know if they sell it. You might be able to go on their website, order like a vinyl and stuff like that. But far as like the music aspect of it, I still want to hear good music though. Like, and they making real music. That's stuff that's going on in real life. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like hip hop was at one point in time. You had people that was really like doing things back in the day. Like, for instance, DMX. DMX was at the top, and they still say he was robbing people. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, so he was with that real stuff. A lot of these other artists, they make up stuff that sound the most either gangster, grimy, or they want to be pimps. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So now we finally getting back to people that we could relate to. Like, you're a grandfather, right? Who was the artist that was talking about having a grandson or grandparent? Who was you speaking on?
A lot of them, Pop Dukes. Shout out to Bumpy Knuckles. Shit. Oh my God, I'm going blank. But he's one of them. I put it like that. He's one of them.
Nah, exactly. So That's why I feel
Bad
like hip
seed.
hop.
There you go. The bad seed. He's one.
That's why I feel like hip hop is right now. Like I mean, anybody from indie to mainstream, you just got to find your audience, man. You know what I mean? It's open for anybody. Just find your audience and just cater to, you know what I mean, to them. You know what I mean? Because they can relate to you.
Shout out to Kawon. Kawon said Premier just turned 60 and
Oh
still
yeah,
active. And he produced 2 to 3 albums in the last year. OGs are balancing out the commercial hip hop, which is a fact. But you know what? I'm going to agree with Seek on one thing that people sleep on. Yes, it is good that the OGs are making good music. No, they're making music, but I want to hear good music. I don't want to just hear people rap for the sake of rapping.
yeah, that's a fact.
But once again, they already have a name. So are they making music to go on tour, or they're making music to make music and still stay home? See, and that's what goes with
Yeah.
independent. That's what goes with independent artists as well, because we always say to independent artists, you got to know what you're in it for. Do you want to be a touring artist, or do you want to be on another level? And that's what I got to ask them, because you know what, touring is hard. You know, it's traveling on the body, it's traveling on a lot on your perspective. So you got to know what exactly it is you want to do.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Like, but you could make a lot of money off of touring. You know what I mean? Look at Pitbull. You know what I mean? His life was changed forever. Like I didn't even know, to be honest, when I first heard about Pitbull, I mean, he was collaborating with Lil Jon. You know, Lil Jon had that flame, and you know what I mean. Pitbull, I think Kulo, that was the first song I heard. Then he just started dropping singles, and he just became a fucking international megastar. And do he ever put even albums out? He probably just make his money off of touring.
But think about this: when your grandfather or grandmother, you're settled. Like I ain't gonna front. R&B is different because you know you got Gladys Knight, you got Shaka Khan, you got Patti LaBelle, and they go out there and do their thing. But if you really take a look at it, a lot of people don't want to tour 8 out of 12 months. They don't. And if you think about the people who have toured, Naughty by Nature still tours, salute to Jersey Hip Hop. Salt and Pepper still tours. Kid and Play was doing shows not too long ago, but they're not touring 8 to 9 months out of the year. And when you have a #1 hit, that's part of the things that you have to do is radio tours, go overseas. You gotta do a whole lot of legwork, a lot of promoting. And a lot of these people are happy that they could just put a song out and if it catch on TikTok and make a couple dollars because they're happy in their lives. I don't see, and no disrespect to anybody I'll bring up, I don't see MC Shan going on tour overseas. I don't see Grandmaster Caz going on tour overseas for 9 months out of the year. I don't see it. Now the money would probably help him, of course, and I ain't mad at that. Look at Ella Sensei. Ella Sensei is from the '90s era, right? Ella Sensei still tour. Shout out to Venomous. Venomous, if you know Venomous 2000, he's a very well-known Jersey MC who may not be the most mainstream name, but he toured a lot. I think he just stopped touring because now it's like, yo, I want to be home. I want to be with my family. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's in all business. You know what I mean? I feel like because when I look at like a lot of these like artists and stuff that made quote unquote a lot of money, like billions, even like they sent 100 millions. Me personally, my mindset, I'm chilling. Like once I reach a certain, I got a certain ceiling. Like I ask the people a lot of these questions, like, yo, how much money is enough money for you in this lifetime, realistically? And a bunch of people said they don't have a ceiling. It's like, yo, people that think like that, they think about material shit because they think about shit they're gonna buy. Because a smart man, if you got 50 million right now, Karev, you gonna set up yourself where you don't have to work because that's not the part of life like working until you die. No, it's get it so you can enjoy. You can enjoy life, not work and die to help somebody else enjoy life. Like you understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm with it. With it, like you know what I mean. People tour sometimes because they enjoy touring. Like I ain't putting on the music, but I'm a tour every 6 months. You know what I mean? Because I ain't putting on the music. But some people they just do that shit because, like I said, they have to. Some of them broke, so they got to tour. Some people not broke. They know how to handle their money. You know what I mean? They was taught money management and things like that, and they don't have to just spend because Floyd Mayweather. They saying he broke, and you know how much money he said he made. So let's think about music. Music gonna make fucking 100 million in fucking 1 minute. You gotta sell albums and tour and do all this other shit. So
Great points. So what do y'all think in the comments? Are the OGs saving hip hop? And even if you look at the breakdown of culture, and not only that, how we talked about when you get that #1 hit, you got to tour, you got to do the legwork. And some of these people are really grandfathers and retired, grandmothers and retired. I'm talking about big ass granny panties and hurt wigs and shit. Like, you think they really trying to get out the bed and put that shit out there? Pop said, yeah, they really are. And Pelias said, it's a shame that touring was the only real method of survival for some of these artists that weren't necessarily popping. That's what the roots all that's the roots all day. And they got on Fallon. Exactly. Like, touring is not, I don't think an older person wants to tour. They'll do it, but it has to be, like Seek said, it has to be a limit. It has to be a goal set for them. I mean, I don't know. I don't see people wanting to tour 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 months a year, only have a month at home. And then they're in elder age. I don't see, because even Gladys Knight and them, they'll go out for a couple months, like 3, 4 months, and then go home. They're not trying to be out all year. And with hip hop, I don't see older people going to the club with younger people to do a new song. I don't see it. Like, I don't see it. I don't see it.
and with older artists though, like I'm not going to everybody. Like only certain people I will either go see them on tour. Like, you know what I mean? Like a Nas, I'm going to see him on tour. Like Jeezy, I'm not going on his tour at this age. I'll go see you at a show real quick. I'll go see one show that you're gonna probably be at this little club or lounge. I'm gonna go there for a little bit, see you do a couple of songs, and I'm out of here. You know what I mean? But as far as like touring, I gotta see somebody that's really gonna put on a show. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like a Kanye West, he gonna put on a show for you. He ain't just gonna be yo. He gonna have like motherfucking people from the circus, fucking rings of fire doing some type of shit. You know what I mean? You went, oh shit, I enjoyed this shit. I'm gonna go buy some merch. You know what I mean? Not these artists, like, you know what I mean? All right, yo, I'm out. See y'all later. Get my fucking money back, yo.
Yeah, F Kanye, by the way. Yeah, I got you. So side note, you popping out to see Jay-Z at the Roots picnic, or you
no. I'm gonna speak on that too.
Go ahead,
no, I'm
that's
not.
an older artist. So
I don't care, but I'm out of that spell that y'all folks is on with Jay-Z. Like, you know what I mean? Jay-Z, you already made enough money from me. Like, you already a billionaire. I'm not supporting. This is me personally. I just want to make this. I'm not supporting these billionaires and these millionaire artists no more. I'm good, yo. It's time to bring new people in the game. That's what my platform is about. It's about finding new talent, you know what I mean? People with different perspectives, you know what I mean, and different messages and shit like that, and bring them up. While we continue to make these same artists, like hip hop been around 50 years. It's like, yo, like, let's see some more other faces. Fuck a big 3. Let's do a big fucking 20, a big 30. Like, you understand what I'm saying? But back to Jay-Z, you would not get another red cent from me. I'm cool. You know what I mean? I bought albums back in the day when we had the real physical copies. I supported things, but I'm not going in to see some shit that I heard like a million times already and that I seen already. Like, you know what I mean? What I'm going to Jay-Z, what he gonna bring out new for me? Motherfuckers going there for the hype. Oh my God, Jay-Z. True or false?
On Pop said you would go if Kanye was there.
No, I wouldn't go when Kanye was there. Hell no, I would not. No, I would not. I'm not that type of. Let me tell you something about me. I'm into music. I do music. I love hip hop, but I'm not a fan to where I never was that type of person. Oh, I got to see this person, or no. I never was a diehard fan to nobody like that. But back in the day, Styles P was one of my favorite rappers, and still is. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like DMX, Cameron was one of my favorite rappers back then. Maybe back then in the golden era, yes. But we done seen 20 and 30 years of some of these artists. It's like, yo, we know who it is. We know they're great. Only way I'm gonna see Jay-Z if I got access to him. Like, see how me and you talking? If I get like access to that, yes, I'm going. But for me being in a crowd with the rest of your fucking, I'm fucking good. What about you?
I'd go because everybody dying. I'm saying I go to.
Nah, fuck that.
I
Nah,
seen
fuck
Jay
that.
Z. I seen Jay Z.
If
No,
it
I
was
go.
Michael Jackson,
I
James
go.
Brown, Stevie
Prince.
Wonder,
Yeah, I go.
Prince, Anita Baker, like Nas, I never been to none of his stuff, and I see Nas. That's different. Yes, somebody say that. Yeah, I'll go to see Nas. KRS One, yes, I'm going. You know what I mean? I'm
Okay.
being honest with you.
So
Coogee Rap, yes, I'm going.
so you go to the 24 hours of peace and the stuff in North where they do this the festivals. You like those?
I get access to that. That's the only reason I go, to be honest with you. So I
Okay.
could do my media thing. Like,
Okay.
other than that, to be honest with you, since I went the first time, I didn't get access. So I didn't get to talk to these people. But nah.
Okay. Shout out to Pop. He want to go see Keith Sweat. Don't
Hell
stop
yeah. Shout out to Keith
love.
Sweat. Yes. Hell yeah. I'll go see people like that. Yes. That's where I'm at. Once again, if anybody don't know my age, I'm 41 years old. You know what I mean? So I was born in the 80s. I love, you know what I mean, the older generation, and I love some of the newer junk. But to get me personally, I'm not gonna be in a crowd with no young people. Nah, but if I go to like an older place where they're gonna have seats and I could sit down and chill, that's the difference. Standing up and sitting down, that's different levels. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, if Jay-Z having somewhere we could sit down in our seats, yeah, I might pull up. But if I gotta stand in the crowd, nah, nigga, leave me at home. Leave me the fuck at home. Like,
All right, and there you go. So that's the first topic we talk about, our OGs saving hip hop. Now, we're going to put our OG hat on ourselves. LaRussell just put out a new song called Heaven Sent. And this song is very controversial.
hmm.
I want to read the hook of the song to you, and I want you to tell me what you think. The hook goes, even the devil was heaven sent. Even Kanye was heaven sent. Even Hitler was heaven sent. Even Martin was heaven sent. We all heaven sent Donald too. We all heaven sent Epstein too. We all heaven sent Malcolm too. Even you. We all heaven sent. In context to what the song is really about, the song is about checking yourself, right? It's all about perspective of life. Like, here, let me read more. I ain't trying to rain on your pity party, but it's sunny outside. You should go out and get some. I moved on, but some days I miss some of my dogs, of the times of the life I used to live. I used to live trying to figure it out. They want me to dance and shout, and they get it out, And he's talking about behaviors in the hood and stuff like that, right? And he asked questions. Show me a bad bitch with self-respect. Show me a real nigga who ain't got vices. Show me a pastor who got rich and is still righteous. Show me a God that everybody agree on. What if Jesus was on the same shit that we was on? So this is a very it's interesting. Yeah, you could call him LaRussell if you want him. I'll call him LaRussell because he's from LA. Now, at the end of the day, his name is Russell, nigga. Like, but at the end of the day, right? What do you think about the message of what you heard? I mean, did you hear the song?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I heard some of it, but it rubbed me the wrong way. You know what I mean? As I was listening to the message, because I seen him actually perform it. Like, he was somewhere and he was like performing in front of a crowd and stuff like that. And I don't my opinion on that is, I get his point where he's trying to say, you know what I mean, we all was put on this earth from God. I understand that, you know what I mean? Um, but it's like, why try to make a song with a message, but use that, I guess, because it's like a marketing, because he's they want to say like a marketing genius in a sense, you know what I mean? So I felt like he already knew that it was gonna get some ruffle a bunch of feathers and people was gonna get talking about it or whatever. But to me, he want to paint himself as a positive, independent person. You know what I mean? Now that he signed to a major, and I feel like they're gonna halt that to a sense. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, positivity only gonna sell to a certain extent. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and that particular song and message, me personally, I felt like that should have been for a person like Kendrick Lamar to put it out. You know what I mean? Like that type of song, because I felt like it would have been like more of a, like, he could have made it to like a song that people could have enjoyed in a sense. You know what I mean? To the point where I feel like that song, maybe because I heard it in front of a crowd, it didn't really hit to me like that. It felt like a positive song. It didn't feel like something that I continue to play. If you understand what I'm trying to say, like I hear that shit, I'm gonna turn that shit the fuck off now. I'm good off it. I get your message, but then why you using them type of evil people in that shit? Like, what you trying to? That's what I want to ask him. What's your point of this song? What you trying to get out of it? You know what I mean? Because some people you name, fuck that. They was heaven sent, but they did devil. That's my personal opinion. So I don't like the song that's based off of that. That's just me.
Shout out to Unpop. He said LaRussell is not from LA. He's from Vallejo. Yeah, he got a song called From the Bay. I know. Shout out to the Bay. That Kalaya said, I think he was trying to be proactive and just missed the mark. It's all a gimmick to get the algorithm moving. Exactly. I will say this, yo. 50 Cent, on Pop's favorite rapper, he said that he doesn't talk about politics and things and religion because that messes up his money. And with LaRussell, he just got signed to Rock Nation, right? Was it Rock Nation?
Yeah.
So now, is he gonna mess up his money? That's the question I have, because I'm gonna keep it real. When you say certain things in music, even though it's art, you fucking with people's lives or
That's a fact.
or their understanding of life. Like, for instance, I have a big beef with Lil Wayne, right? I have a big beef with what's the Christian rapper, yo?
Lecrae?
Him. Don't like Lecrae either. And it's not that I don't like them as people. It's just the things that they've said or done that really bothers me. For instance, when Lil Wayne said, I beat up the P like Emmett Till, that's not cool.
Yeah, don't refer that. You could have used anything else. Like, wow, refer exactly.
That rubbed me the wrong way. Like, really, like fact. that made me not want to support Lil Wayne ever. I don't care how many mixtapes, I don't care about the drought, I don't care about none of that stuff. When you say stuff like that, that shows me that you have a callous misunderstanding of our people, our struggle, and our story. Let me move it to the next level. Lecrae said he was on a show with a pastor of a church, and the guy said they were talking about slavery, and he was talking about, yeah, slavery was bad, but we have to not discount the blessings of slavery. And he was just on here like this, like, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're saying yes in agreement to the blessings of slavery? What the hell was the blessing of slavery, and how did it benefit my people?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And he says, well, I'll talk to him off camera. Like, no, you talk to him on
camera.
So
address it, Zach. You address it right there, Zach.
Because if somebody disrespect you to your face, you're going to walk them to the corner like, why you disrespect me? No, you're going to check that man about your respect. So when it comes to this song, let me go to the lyrics again, because I want to ask a question. He said, even the devil was heaven sent, which I don't believe. Even Kanye was heaven sent, maybe. But look what he did. Even Hitler was heaven sent, maybe. But look what he did. Martin, Hitler, Donald Trump, Epstein, Malcolm, whatever Malcolm it could be. You want to talk about everybody. That's the thing that people get confused when it comes to religion. Because people talk about God knowing everything, but then there's free will. And free will doesn't mean you weren't sent from heaven. But free will doesn't mean you are a heavenly person or a righteous person or have goodwill. Because Hitler's heaven sent. What about Leopold, who murdered all them Africans? What about Jeffrey Dahmer, who was cooking niggas' butts and putting them in the freezer and doing stuff like that? What about all the stuff we got going on today where people talk about sex trafficking and pedophilia and stuff? Is that heaven sent? Because that's not heaven sent stuff.
Exactly.
That's You're walking a fine line of earthly righteousness to spiritual immaturity. And I think that's the line that when people cross it, you not only mess up your career, people start distancing themselves from you, and now the bounce back is where you're going to become what it's going to be for you. Because was this his humiliation ritual? Was this showing the world that he plays the game and he's willing to play the game to get money? Is this a setup for something that we hoped he never would do as a black man or artist. Look at Kanye. Kanye talked about Jay-Z and Beyonce's kids. That's an ass whooping in the hood, but because he make music, it's different. You see what I'm
Hell
saying?
no.
Like, like,
Yeah.
like you hear where I'm coming from? Like that's where I'm
Yeah,
a little cross
yeah,
with it.
nah, I feel like he want to be, like I said, he want to be that artist that, oh yeah, we need peace. I understand we do need peace in the world. I understand that, but I do understand everybody ain't gonna walk through the same door. You know what I mean? Some people chose to be on that side of the life. You know what I mean? They want to be evil, they want to be criminals, they want to be a part of the devil. You know what I mean? And I feel like he want to make that song pretty much trying to promote like, yo, we should forgive. You know what I mean? We all have no fuck all that. None of them people that you mentioned, other than if you referring to God, they was sent on this earth as a soul, and they had options on which road they wanted to travel. You know what I mean? And they chose that lane, so we got to leave him in it. He had a when he went in that studio, he could have talked about something positive. Like, why everybody always got to shine light on negativity to try to twist it like they turning that shit into a positive? I don't think that. There's a lot of other shit you could have spoke on if you wanted to turn something negative to a positive. Like, there's a bunch of people that's losing their lives, you know what I mean, that been losing their lives in the system, through poverty, and now what's going on, the wars. There's other people in different countries, even though they ain't quote unquote from the United States, they still human. They still, you know what I mean, deserve to live. You know what I mean? They losing their life because you got billionaires that's in office feel like, yo, we so bored. The gig is up already. Jeffrey Epstein, everybody already know we already freaks. Now we need something else to do with our spare time. So we just gonna start wars, start blowing people the fuck up. Um, when it comes to LaRussell, he need to just make music from the heart, like he been doing, and that's what got him noticed. You know what I mean? I noticed LaRussell because he had, I don't know what song that he blew for. You probably know the name of the song, but he had one song that I found about, I want to say about like a couple of years ago. And I'm like, who is this guy? And they say he was independent. And he just continued, was on my algorithm, and next thing you know, speeded up to this year, he just signed a deal with Rock Nation. And to me, I felt like that was a bad move on his part because he didn't need him at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? But me, my mindset, I have a ceiling. You know what I mean? If I'm already got myself known and popping globally, what I need a machine for? I'm gonna continue to make my bread, or I'm gonna sign with an investor or somebody's gonna invest. I ain't gonna go to Rock Nation because, like you said, there's only a certain level they're gonna have you at. You know what I mean? Because you'll start messing their business up. You know what I mean? When you start talking about certain shit and you represent our company and stuff like that, and you'll pretty much get blackballed. I don't think that's gonna happen with him unless he continue to make these type of songs like this. But me looking at as a fan and as a person that would have been on his team, I'd be like, yo, don't make them type of songs anymore, yo. You know what I mean? Even if it might be in his heart and soul, this is business at the end of the day. It gotta come to a point where it's like, look, yo, this business, so we gotta separate business and our personal, you know what I mean, especially when it comes to controversy. But that's how I feel about that. Like, I'm not gonna hear it. I don't even hear it on the radio, so I doubt we're gonna hear it on the radio. I doubt if I'm really going to listen to the full thing, because like I said, I seen a clip of him performing it. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't moved. It actually left a sour mouth in I mean, a sour taste in my mouth at the end of the day. Because I'm like, yo, why is he talking about like the people he named got me mad? Not the song. This is people who named like Trump. I'm like, why the fuck, like, I'm swinging at the air like motherfucking like Trey from fucking Boys in the Hood, like Epstein. Like, why are you he doing, like I said, he's a marketing genius, so he already knew what he was gonna do. No, that shit ain't gonna do nothing. Don't listen to that shit. We ain't talking about it no more after this either. Fuck
No, we not. But you know
that.
what? To go back into our subject, can the OGs help save him? One thing, yeah, I agree on Pop F Trump. But one thing I will tell you when it comes to the OG saving hip hop, one thing I seen this weekend was KRS-One giving the name Knowledge Reigns Supreme to Absol to use. He passed him the torch. So if an older generation artist is still reaching out to build and even pass torches to these young artists, who's going to talk to LaRussell, LaRussell, whatever his name is, who's going to talk to him, and who's going to bring him in to let him
Jay-Z.
know? No, you're not.
Bigger. I
I mean,
said he should. Not
he
he's not,
should.
but he
Okay, he
should.
should.
He
Okay,
the
he
big
should.
homie. Like according to everybody, he's the go to this shit. So he's on the top of the food chain when it comes to the money also. So that should be the person that to him. But I don't know. Hold up. Did you hear the whole song?
Yep. Read the
Did he
lyrics
mention
too.
did he mention Jay-Z in it?
No.
Fuck you, Mr. Jay-Z name in it if Jay-Z was in quote unquote the Epstein's files. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Hello?
I don't know, but what I can say is this is a topic that doesn't has not gone away because Kanye has said the Hitler song, he had that. You had KRS-One call out the Bible in Higher Level, one of my favorite songs of all time. You've had Public Enemy and all these other people call out the system. Is LaRussell, LaRussell, whatever, is he calling out the system, or is he just saying something to get you to talk about him? And
He's
that's the
saying
most
something to
dangerous
talk
thing.
about him. That's
Because
it. That's all he doing.
we talked about clout on the last show. If
That's
y'all
what he is. It's
haven't
clout.
seen it, go back and see the last episode. But I think he's walking a fine line. And if OGs are saving hip hop, I ask an OG to please talk to our brother and let him know that all art ain't good. It's all subjective, but sometimes you should fall back and releasing things that you can have been told. Because it's engineered and people told him, I don't think you should put that out. And his response was, in the hood, y'all celebrate drug dealers, y'all celebrate people who rob, murder, steal, cheat, beat people, and all that. And I said their life is worth something, just like these
Check this
people's life
out.
is worth something.
That's a small percentage of people. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like, yo, society got everybody thinking that the black community, that's all we do. That's a small certain people. And that's what the fucking powers that runs hip hop, they promote that on that level. His engineer was right. That shit was trash. Let's just talk about it. I'm an engineer. Hey, sir, that shit was trash. Don't put that shit out. Like, this ain't you. That ain't you. Like, where that come from? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, me, I don't think that type of artist, he's not there yet where, me personally, I feel like Kendrick Lamar, let me say it again. I don't give a fuck people say I'm glazing Kendrick. I don't give a fuck. Kendrick Lamar, he could have put that type of song out, but to make it, I mean, something you can enjoy, like quote unquote. Let's talk about Not Like Us. A lot of people said, "Oh, I mean that type of song," but he made that type of song that you can really bop to enjoy. LaRussell should have made that, or just stick in your lane. But you trying to get clout, yo? I'm good off you. Like I don't even know none of your songs, and I ain't even talking about you crazy. I don't know none of your songs. Like you was on my algorithm, my feed because of your marketing and the things you do. People enjoyed that. And I mean, and I'm pretty sure some of the indie artists probably that's probably a huge of his following is a bunch of other indie artists that probably inspired to do what he do because you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna jot down notes and try to replica and follow his journey based off how he became successful. And just because he made it that way doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna make it that way. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's what he doing, man. They try to get that money. They want people to go on their shit. It's controversy. Oh, I'm talking about something positive. Oh yeah, we celebrate the drug dealers. Okay, who you celebrating then? Who he celebrating? That's what I'm confused with his song. He celebrating Trump, Epstein. Like, what is he doing? What's the point of that song? That's the question I ask him if I had a chance. I got a bunch of questions I'm gonna ask LaRussell if I had a chance to meet him. Like, I mean, what was your thought process of signing with Jay-Z, knowing that he was associated with the Epstein's files? I'm not saying he did it, he didn't, but I just want to know your point of view. You know what I mean? This is some allegations. Why would you lean towards that? Like, you know what I mean? And what was the point of your song? Like, what was the message you was trying to get out of it? You know what I mean? That's the type of questions I would ask that I feel like when he go on these podcast platforms, they don't be asking these questions. They be fucking fanning. Like, get off my man ball sack, yo. Stop being a fan. If you're a journalist or you call yourself a journalist, when you get in front of these people, ask them real journalist questions. Who wanna fucking hear about gossip? Let's talk about shit that's really moving the culture, and especially be the people that support these people. Let's ask these people uncomfortable questions. If they can't answer it, look, they on camera. They couldn't answer these shit. So stop fucking supporting them. That's simple. That's how I feel. Fuck them. I ain't mad, but fuck them.
And Pop said preach. So he turned him, you converted him into a fan. So shout out to Pop. Shout out to everybody who's watched the show tonight. We want to thank you for joining us on the Mic Council. We have some topics that we talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, we don't skip the we don't skip nothing. We culturally driven with no skips. We're gonna talk
That's a
about the things that's going on in our culture, and we're gonna tell you how we really feel. You heard what he said, and I'm gonna say
fuck
this.
them.
I'm gonna say
Fuck
the
them.
same thing. I'm good on all that because at the end of the day, how are we making hip hop and our culture better for the babies that come behind us? Gas is high, food is high. We don't have enough money in our pockets to take care of our family. It's been said if a family doesn't have $5,000 in the bank for stash in case of emergencies, they are fucked up out here. Imagine how many people don't have $5,000 saved up in the bank.
That's a fact. Can I say this though?
Yeah.
Another thing, so I know we're going through hard times, but we all have hidden talents. You know what I mean? We all should have that, especially coming from the hood, know how to hustle. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about hustling like selling drugs or selling your kitty cat, missus. You know what I mean? It's other things that you can do, you know what I mean, to make some money. You just got to be able to be willing to do the research, you know what I mean, and put it together. You know what I mean? Because these jobs, they only paying you a little bit, you know what I mean, just to be able to get some bread and crumbs, you know what I mean? So you out here, think of another hustle, you know what I mean? I'm not telling you go get another full-time job because jobs is only going to keep you afloat. It's not going to, you need that a job to pay for your bills. You need a hustle to help you invest in your talent. That's going to turn into your career, and that's going to also make change your life. You know what I mean? I feel like we need to all always put the most effort in the things that we do in our personal life to help us achieve. It's good to help people, but when we come to these corporations, you just another number at the end of the day. It's similar to the prison system at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You just another number. You could be doing everything great. One little thing you fuck up, they get you out of there. What they say, pack them up. You know what I mean?
And get them the fuck out of here. That's right.
Exactly.
So let's get out of here then. We gave him the message. We preached enough tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Mic Council
That's a
every
fact.
Sunday, 8 p.m. on YouTube exclusively. But you can also listen to the replay of the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on the Heritage Hip Hop feed, Heritage Hip Hop podcast feed. Before we go, I want to ask you a question, sir. Where's it at? What is in your rotation for this week?
My rotation this week. I mean, I know I sound like a broken record, but on the Hello Effect podcast, you know what I mean, we just don't interview mainstream celebrities, you know what I mean, political figures. We interview and connect with a lot of indie artists because that's what the community is built on. You know what I mean? People from the culture, you know what I mean, that start from the ground up, you know what I mean, trying to pursue whatever they're trying to pursue in. But everybody know I represent Newark, New Jersey, but I just don't have my ears is based off of New Jersey. You know what I mean? I let my ears travel through regions, through states, through different countries. But right now, I'm in the Queens. You know what I mean? I've been supporting this artist by the name of Fame. You know what I mean? You can go to my page, the Hello Effect, THE.HELLO.EFFECT on IG, and you can scroll down. You know what I mean? He got a project out, dope artist. He's from Southside Jamaica, Queens, 50 Cent on him. You know what I mean? It's from, you know what I mean? So go show some love and support. Like he got bars, you know what I mean? He give me some substance. You know what I mean? If you like that golden era type of hip hop, that's the type of shit he on, you know what I mean? But any artist that you know locally, or even if you don't know them, they ain't from you, go support them. It's easy to support. Support is free. And when it comes to streaming, music is fucking free. So I don't understand if anybody on here that been supporting the Mic Council, that support Heritage Hip Hop, support Kawon Media, yo, go check out our page, the Instagrams, wherever you want, any social media platform and YouTube. Go check out some new music, give it a great listen, feed your mind with something different than these other people that we be listening for 20, 30 years. Not saying you gotta step away from that, but it's like, yo, let something new in your life. You know what I mean? That could probably change your life. You know what I mean? Having a conversation with somebody that you don't know. Like when I first met Karev, like Mim had a conversation. He taught me a lot of things. You know what I mean? I'm still learning from him. So that's what we need to do. And one last thing before I get up out of here, since I got the floor, I just want to say once again, thank you for supporting the Mic Council. You know what I mean? For anybody that been here since we first, you know what I mean, launched this thing. For any new people that's here, that's showing love, that's in the comments, that really love the things that we love, like this hip hop, this culture, we appreciate you. You know what I mean? And if you're on social media, IG, you give me a follow, I'm gonna follow back. You know what I mean? I'm gonna share of your artists, I'm gonna share support, because like I said, it's free. You know what I mean? But give it your all. You know what I mean? Do it because you enjoy it and you love it. Don't just do it because, like, fuck it, I want to become famous. I want to make some money. Stop taking from hip hop. Let's give back to this shit. You know what I mean? So we can see another more 50 years of it. That's all I got to say. Much love and respect always.
And my rotation this week, I'm rocking with something coming up very soon. Shot Skills, double S Shot Skills. Y'all hear something very soon. Y'all will see something very soon. But of music that's out right now, I'm gonna keep it real, yo. I've been listening to that Nas feature presentation to hear the commentary. The Legends has it and his take on it. I'll listen to that. I've been listening to the Artifacts. Rest in peace, Tane One. You know what I'm saying? I've been heavy on the Artifacts this week, and that's really about it, man. I've been in my head really about with music. Yo, I'm looking forward to Stress album, Fat Kanye. I've been listening. I like the Bad Seed, the Book of Himothy, verse 4. I like that. I like that album a lot. You know?
Hey yo, I'm gonna cut you off, but you talking about Stress. When he dropping that Fat Kanye?
He said around his birthday, I think. I'm not sure.
No, I'm at hit him up. Now, I mean, when he drop it, I'm gonna listen to it. Then after we listen to it, I think we need to bring him up here so we get some feedback. You know what I mean? On the Mic Council, give him some feedback, because when I interviewed him a year ago, he was talking about that project. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna see what's up with it.
Yeah, I got the preview of the album, and I'm telling y'all, Heritage Hip Hop Awards comes around the last Saturday of August. We'll see what happens, because we're gonna put our thing together. Now that there's a Mic Council, we got even more people to add voices to the hip hop, to the awards show.
We gotta plan that. That's what you gotta talk about at the Temple of Hip Hop.
We're gonna talk about
that should be held there. That'd be dope. You know
it's coming. It's coming. We're working on it. So everybody out there, thank you for watching the Mic Council one more time. Shout out to our mans. DJ Kawon out there making it happen. Peace, bro. I'm proud of you. First and foremost.
Word.
You doing what you
That's
gotta
what's
do.
up. Hell yeah. Shout out to Kawon. That's what's up, man. Continue be great. You out there making moves for yourself, for your family. You know what I mean? I hope your flight back home, you know what I mean, safe. I hope you stay out there safe. And, you know what I mean? Even though you out there for business, if you gonna have a little, I mean, fun time, even sometimes it's going away, getting out the house, hopping on that plane, going to another state. You know what I mean? Especially at our age, is a blessing. That's something good. You know what I mean? So shout out to my boy Kawon, man.
And shout out to everybody watching. All right, we in here for almost an hour and a half. So may the Most High bless you. Peace. And we out.
Thank you and good night. We are Heritage Hip Hop. Real hip hop. Real